Hello, hello. Is my audio working? Anyone drop in chat? Oh, look at that. Starting soon. The font is way too big. Hey, how's it going, everybody? So, we are finally live. Stressful. I had to re-log in to YouTube through OBS, like, right before I started going live, because I clicked the button that said go live, and we did not go live. So, I meant to test this last night, and then I absolutely forgot. So we today will be reviewing PRs. So I have the chat open. Hopefully that works. We should see chat on the screen. That's broken because I forget how it works. It was funny. I just logged into the account that I usually use to like see the chat on that side, and I forget how to use it. So I'll have to figure that out and have to figure out how I stream again because I used to be good at this. So we were going to do that. I'm going to introduce Omar in just a second, and then let me know if my audio sounds good, if the music is too loud, or if it's too quiet. I want me to bump it up a little bit. Hopefully everything else works. We will find out because like I said, I haven't done this in a really hot minute, and I kind of forgot how this works. So what we're going to be doing today, though, is reviewing PRs on my Hacktoberfest project. So Hacktoberfest is an open source initiative to basically get involved in open source work because it's something that, like, open source software rules a lot of the world, and it's usually due to, like, volunteers and everything, and everyone, like, donating their time to all these repositories to like make all this lovely code that we have. So I have my own open source Hacktoberfest project. I'm going to run it in just a second. And I think that's about it. This stream, if you're wondering, oh, be sure to like it too, because I think I only saw one like when I was going through everything. One person liked it. I appreciate it. And Today we are actually sponsored by Tuple or Tuple. I call it Tuple all the time. It's the icon up in the top left. It's the software we're going to use for pair programming. So when we review these PRs, we are actually going to review it with the contributor who created the PR. So you got to see like really live, like this is what it looks like to go back and forth on a PR with somebody else. So I'm going to introduce Omar. One second. Let me switch it over to my monitor. So you should see me, Omar, and then the millions of windows that I kind of have also on the screen at the moment. But I'm going to make Omar a little bit bigger, so then, yeah, we're about the same size. We're kind of like right now next to each other, so it looks like we're talking. Let me turn on his audio, and then... Oh no, wait, where'd your audio go? Oh shoot, hold on. Did I not put the audio over here? Shoot, no I didn't. Please hold. I forgot to put Omar's audio onto the OBS Tuple audio. Hang on. I put it on the other screen. I forgot to put it on this one. Where'd it go? Ooh, turn it down, because it might be too loud. Audio sounds good. Okay, thank you, Joshua. Do you prefer Joshua or Josh? I'm not sure if you care. Let me know whichever one. I will call you whichever. And then, okay, Omar, you can take it away. Introduce yourself. Yeah.
Sure. Thanks, Mikaela. Hi, everyone. My name is Omar Higazi. I'm a senior iOS developer working at Integrand, and we are working on different bunch of applications, but mainly we are working with client may you heard of called Dexcom. So we are currently working on medical products related to patients with diabetes. And I'm glad that I'm here today with Mikaela. So thanks for that, Mikaela, and I appreciate it. And I believe that's pretty much about it.
Ooh,
I'll
I
leave it.
have a question for you. How did you find my Hacktoberfest project? Because I'm curious because for anyone who doesn't know, Omar also contributed to the project last year because this is the same project that I had last year, and I had a bunch of contributors. So I'm kind of just wondering, how did you find the project?
Yeah, basically, I'm following you on Twitter. So I was getting that updates about Hacktoberfest, and when I saw that post back then, I immediately reached out to you about it, and I even remember that you were um, taking a vacation like in September, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, so I was waiting for that chance because it was my first chance to work on or to contribute on an open source project. So it was a very good chance to me, and I like it.
awesome. That's awesome. Yeah, I have way more contributors last year because I talked about it like in August when it happened in October. Because, yeah, I went on a vacation in September. I went, like, to Europe and then came back.
Yeah,
So I had to get the repo ready before then. So I talked about it a lot more than I did this year. And then, of course, this year, I was also in Europe in
yeah,
August, September, right before Hacktoberfest, but it was also, I was still over there in October. So because of that, I wasn't as active, but that kind of helped because then I didn't have as many PRs as I did last year, which is kind of nice because reviewing PRs is a lot of work, and we're about to get into how all that works. So I'm going to move your little window around so it's not on top of the code. You can be in the corner here. And so we are going to be reviewing your PR today about how what is the feature? It's we are exporting all the maintenance events. So this whole app, let me hit Command R and run it. And so, ooh, Omar, let me share my screen with you also so you see it.
yeah.
Okay, there you go. So you should be able to see my screen as well. Again, the software we're using is called Tuple for pair programming. So I am sharing my screen. I don't think you can see it. Oh, you can barely see it on the stream here. If you look at the bottom left, there's like these little arrow thingamabobs. So you can see that I'm sharing with Omar my entire screen. So then he can see everything that you all on stream also can see. And then you're seeing his webcam feed from Tuple. Also, I have with me my pair programming mug. You can kind of see it because on stream you kind of, because this is a pair and it's green and I have a green screen. So the green screen like masks it out. But if I turn off my green screen, you would just see, nothing. But I have my mug with me. This has coffee in it. And then in honor of Hacktoberfest, and because I went to Oktoberfest last year, I have my big beer stein of water from Munich of Oktoberfest, so it looks just comical of me drinking water out of a gigantic beer stein. But it's kind of fun every time. So that is a side note. So this is what we are doing today, is this project. Ooh, I need to run the emulator. Totally forgot to do that. So this project is all about tracking your maintenance tasks. And also, because this project is backed by Firebase, I am using the Firebase emulator. Somewhere here. Turn off natural. And then this command line tool that I'm using is called Warp. It's like supposed to be a better terminal. To be determined if it's actually better or not. I find it still very much the same. There we go. No, where is my... Oh, where's my Firebase chat one? Oh, there it is. Okay, Firebase emulators start, import local data, export on exit. Starts the Firebase emulator. And also there's a file, or no, there's a directory, I think, called local data. And inside of that has all the data for this application when it's running, so that you can run all offline and you don't actually have to be connected to like the production Firebase. So let me grab my Safari window out of the millions of them that I have open. New one. Oh, where'd it go? Here we go. Localhost. There we go. So we have the Firebase emulator running here. When we ran this command, which is all in the contributing file, it says we're starting all the emulators, blah, blah, blah. Starting localhost 127.0.0.1, 4000. And we are using authentication and Firestore right now. Later on, we may use storage, but that's what we're doing at the moment. So we can see then Firebase emulator authentication, that will match inside my simulator. And then in Firestore, we actually see some data. So if I go ahead, let's run it again. Command R. We'll show you what the project looks like right now, and then we're going to get into the PR review, because I have to go right at about like the top of the hour at like 10-ish my time. So hopefully that's good. So yeah, we can see Crashlytics started, user signed in, blah, blah, blah. Cool. We see this first car, and then if we go back and look at what's in the emulator, this first car says Chevy Malibu. We see that same data here, and then that user ID, if we go to settings, profile, that user ID matches this one. So we see all the data that we're actually seeing in our simulator, which is super nice too when you're working on this, because then you can see when we go to maintenance events on the dashboard here, it says oil change, first car, on, date, the oil is now changed. So we can go into the maintenance events, click on the document, and then see all that exact same data. Okay, so that's how it works really, is you just enter maintenance events of click the plus here, type in whatever thing happened, you know, generally oil change is like the only thing I know to type in pretty much. And then we have an odometer, so you can track like how far you've gotten in your car. And there's a lot of more features I want to add with that too. But the feature Omar is doing is we want to export these events. So let's add one more. What else? Omar, are you a car person actually? What other?
Kind of. Yeah.
What's another maintenance event I should enter?
Maybe fixing brakes or...
Fix brakes. That's a good one. Okay, we have first car, so you can also add multiple vehicles. And then I say car because it's like technically, you know, car is a single car, but then somebody could use a truck and they don't want to call their truck a car. So inside the whole code base, it's referred to as vehicle, not as car. But what I found out with that, which is funny too, vehicle is hard to spell. And after a while, you start spelling it wrong. So some PRs are just spelling things wrong, because it happens. The brakes have been fixed. Whatever we want. Okay, click add. Ooh, and then we saw it appear immediately over here in the emulator. So we did fix brakes, oil change. We see those two events. So again, Omar's feature is actually going to be exporting these into a PDF. So let's do the first run. So we are using warp again, so it's PR345. So I use the GitHub command line, so we can do GHPR checkout 345, hit enter, and then this now checked out his branch. So we can see Omar export maintenance events PDF. We see that. We see we're on that branch. And then now we can just hit Command R and see if it runs. So this this issue was written right here. So this is all written down. Everyone can see the repo. It's all public. And we have basically create a PDF export of the maintenance events ordered by oldest to newest of a single vehicle, because later on we're going to add more vehicles. And then I wrote more text about what arrow I want specifically. So square and arrow up is right there. It's on the leading side of the dashboard view. So we actually see leading side of the dashboard view. So that's all good. And then create export options view. So that's probably a view we're going to have to look at. So let's open that. And then this is how we get to it. And it's basically, I tried to describe the whole functionality of how does this feature work, so then somebody can easily go and build it. And I try to put as much detail as possible so that like you can pretty much find an issue, tag yourself, and then I can, and then you can basically start the issue without needing to ask me too many questions. If you have to ask me questions, that's totally fine, but I try to put enough detail so that you don't have to. Yes, the repo link, it is on the video here, but let me, also just copy this and I'll drop it in the chat. It should be on the description of the video, but it's also here. So you can go to, I should add my socials to the top of this thing, but it's mygithub.com and then my name, which should appear everywhere, and then it should be tagged for basic car maintenance. But I dropped it in the chat as well. How do you pronounce your name? Is it Asif? Let me know. I try to pronounce everyone's name correctly. I'm bad at it sometimes, but I do try because I don't like when people spell my name wrong sometimes. But that is this whole issue that we have. Describe alternatives. This is a new feature, and then I also noted that it's going to kind of compete with another feature that I wrote, which is exporting the CSV, which is, we were doing export PDF, that's Omar's feature, and then there's another one, export as a CSV, and they're kind of both going to be in the same place in the code base, so kind of like whichever person did it first was the person who kind of gets it merged first, and then the other person ends up having like a bunch of merge conflicts. So Omar was first, so that's cool, we don't have to deal with all the merge conflicts, and then here was my little example of what the PDF is going to look like. It's just going to say basic car maintenance, because that's the app, the vehicle name, which is something that the user entered and we fetch from Firebase. We are using maintenance events specifically right now. The start and end date of all the events, and then you would have the date, the name of the car, and then whatever you wrote. And as you can still see, oil changed is the only thing I know about cars. And then we have, Omar asking take over the issue, and then he made a PR. So that's the whole feature. When we go in to review the code, I really look at files changed, so we can see right above him here, there's 346 lines changed, nothing deleted. So I'll sometimes kind of skim this because it goes by file, and then I can kind of see what's happening, but then I'll like look at what files have changed here, and then go look at it, like check out his branch, test that it works, and actually go through it over there. So I'll move your image is kind of in the way. I'll move you in a second, but let's also go back to the simulator and see if it works. Here we go, moment of truth. Does it work on my machine as well? So we have a picker here, which is funny. I was thinking a selector context menu picker, but you put a wheel, which is totally fine. I really kind of don't care. But we have select the vehicle you want to export for the maintenance events for. So right now we of course only have the one event, or the one car. We tap export, and then, it comes up like this. So it shows us an example of what just got exported, and we can tell because it has the name and everything. This looks kind of weird. We'll keep it for now. I don't care dramatically, but I was almost thinking we click export, we have share, and immediately this link would come up. So we may change that, but that's also something too. I like to think of how I do all these, where that was something I'm fine with how that works and how it looks, but I would personally rather, like, when you click export, immediately go to the share sheet here. But we could still merge this like this, and then I can make a new issue to have somebody else change that functionality, because it doesn't really matter dramatically that he implemented it that way. It's totally fine. So we do it like this. Okay, let's say I want to save this to files. So I click save to files. We have first car maintenance report. So first car we know came from the data. Whoops, come back. Data over here. We called it. Go back here. Right here. We called the name first car. So that's where that came from. And then maintenance report. Cool. If I hit save, that's totally fine. We should probably have all that dismissed, but again, like, it's not essential. The whole feature still works. So, like, it's probably a line Omar can add if he wants to, and I can comment on it. And if he does it really super quickly, okay. But if not, I could just be like, oh, I'll make a new issue out of it. Now somebody else can contribute to that. So let's go to files. Here we have first car maintenance report. And there we go. It pretty much looks like the example that I had. Oh, not there. It's over here. Yeah, I think that looks good, so I'm totally fine with the look on all of that. And now let's go through the code. Okay, where's all my... There we go. So let's move this behind here because we don't really need to see it anymore. And let's move Omar... Oh, wait, he's on top of me. There you go. So now we're stacked, so I'm on the bottom left corner, and then you're, like, right above me. Because Omar can't see his own webcam. He can just kind of see where he's at. Because when you think about it, like, I really like what Tuple does. It's like, they kind of think of it as, like, you don't need to see your own face when you're pair programming all the time. Like, you don't even want to see your own face all the time. We're like, look at the code. So because of that, he doesn't see his own webcam, but I see it because it's sharing, like, to my screen. So then I'm sharing my webcam with him, too. And he doesn't have to see, like, his own. Actually, we're going to put you right next to me. And then it's like, I don't have to see my own face anyways, either. So, actually, no, hang on, sorry. I keep moving this around. I don't know where to put it. You're going to go up in the top corner, actually. There we go. I'm going to make you slightly smaller. Okay, so now everything's out of the way. You're in the top right corner now. So let's look at the code. So we know it all works functionally how we want it. So that's cool. Do we have anything else in the console? Ooh, no image named square and arrow up found in asset catalog. That's weird. That must be... Huh, let's copy that and see where that came from. Yeah, share, square arrow up. So where do we use the share icon? SF symbol dot share, system image name. Oh, it's right here. Ah, so we saw this... file couldn't be open, that's weird, it's fine. So we saw this in the console that said, image named square and arrow up found in asset, it's not found in the asset catalog. We see here, so the share link, when we clicked on it over, ooh. Oh, something I noticed, this is not on you, it's with the Firebase emulator. It, like, isn't connected anymore when I just run the app without, like, running it from Xcode, because your change isn't there and, like, all the data's not here. So I have to, like, run it again from Xcode for it to actually connect. I feel like that's weird, but... Mm-hmm. So if we click here, click export, I think, yeah, that says share. We should have an image here and that's not showing up. And that's because here, this should probably system image. Like that. So if we rerun it again, this will say that. So then let's go to export options view. Where was that? Here. We could make a comment of that. Would go right here. That we can even do suggest comment, and then I can change it here. This should say system image, and be like should be system image rather than image. Start review. So that does a start review. So then, actually, let's go back and check this. Oh, thumbs up. That's tuple. It's super fun. So yeah, then now we have the share icon. Love it. And then it looks like we would guess. So that, like, I did a suggest change, so then I can do that and then end up committing all my suggestions at once. But I usually commit them like on my computer and then push the changes because it's kind of easier. But this makes it so he could also see after I reviewed the PR exactly what needs to be done. And if there's small things, I kind of just go through it and I'm like, if it's a lot of little tiny things, if it's a ton of them, I'll tell the person to actually fix them other times. But if it's like really tiny and there's only like 3 things, I'll just commit it myself, merge the PR, because then it's more exciting to get the PR merged rather than having to go back and forth. On a project like this where it's very, very async, when like, oh, I don't know if Omar's busy, if he'll like, not get back to this for like, 3 days or something, when in reality, like, I could just do it in 5 minutes. So we can do that, and then all the comments, they say pending because they all compound over up until the point we actually I submit the review here. Okay, so that's a little one we can fix. Let's now go through how many lines have changed in each of these. So if we collapse all these real quick, what are our small changes? Okay, so we added constants. We just saw that, so we can click check it, viewed it, and then we don't have to look at that one again. Let's see what else. What is page dimension? Page dimension is an enum with all of our different sizes. So this basically sets it up so that, and I put this in the PR, or in the issue, I think, that we can eventually export different sizes of PDFs. So, you have your basic like 8.5 by 11-inch paper, which is, imperial units. I forget what that even is in metric, but it's like the A4 paper size. So we have this. I'm totally fine with you putting the SwiftLint here because you could do it here, and that could be a different issue, is we could put the SwiftLint here to disable the SwiftLint warning that'll happen here, or we could add this name to the SwiftLint rules that it won't trigger if it's A4. Either one, but we can make a note of that. If somebody reminds me in 30 minutes, I can make a new issue that just says change this and add a SwiftLint rule into like the SwiftLint rules to ignore for this name rather than putting the warning in the code right here. But that's totally fine. I don't really care. Page view width. Yep. So this is hard-coded magic numbers, I'm assuming. Where do these numbers come from? Are those... Omar, are these like millimeters or... No, it's not.
I guess it's
It's like points, I'm guessing?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's totally fine. They're magic numbers. They'll be hard-coded for all the other sizes, I'm guessing. And you probably found it somewhere, so that's fine. And then we get page width, height, and then CG size gives us width and height together. Cool. Check on that, because we viewed it. Okay, what's the next smallest file? Dashboard view. Let's look at this. So we added one variable here. So this is kind of hard to see because it's got the line breaks and stuff, because like how GitHub views it. So let's just go to the dashboard view model. And move you back over there. Yeah. And we are on line 36. Scroll up. Okay, so it was adding this variable. So this is vehicles with sorted events dictionary. Vehicles reduce into vehicle, result, current vehicle, filter sorted by. Okay, so it looks like it's sorting the events from, what is it, oldest to newest, because this is what we're using when we build the actual data that's in the PDF, right?
Yep.
Trying to think if I like this or not. Because it's not bad. Like, it's easy to read. And also, the way I'm, like, saying things, too, for anyone who's done a PR review, like, I'm not attacking any way that how Omar wrote this. Like, it's nothing against him. He's great. He contributed last year. Came back this year. Nothing against him for how he wrote this. But it's more of, eventually, I have to maintain this code base. So I also need to understand how it all works.
Yep.
So when we do this, reducing, what does reduce do again? I forget.
It's converting a type to another type. So we do have the vehicles that's already an array, and we wanted to convert it to a dictionary. And also by iterating over the vehicles. So
okay, yeah, and then so it's iterating over all the vehicles, making a new dictionary with vehicle, and then the maintenance events attached, right?
yes,
Okay.
exactly.
I I think this is fine. It's a variable for right now, but I feel like it may end up being a function at some point because you do have it written so then when we have multiple vehicles, this will be easy to do as well. I'm fine with this right now. I feel like eventually it will end up being a function though, but I'm cool with it at the moment. Vehicles with sorted events dictionary. That's a fine name. Also, there's an extra line break here, so I'm gonna just hit backspace. And then, yeah, that's something that's like, I could write a comment. There's a line break, but it's also like, I can fix it. It took me 2 seconds to fix. So we're just gonna hit check, not even comment that there was a line break, and just be like, it's fine.
Okay.
Okay, what else is there? The next one is localizable string. So we have the word export, export event, label for exporting maintenance events, select a vehicle. Select a vehicle, you want to export the maintenance events for, yeah, all that's fine. You could add another comment on this one for like what does select a vehicle mean for the localization, but I think it's all fine. And then another comment for share. Let's put a comment on share though, because then, is this a text actually? No, it's a localized string key. So then it's also easy to localize this. If this is a localized string key, we have the value. Where is the comment on this? Hang on. Am I doing this wrong? Let's see. Localized. Oh, it's a different initializer. Localized string key. Let's see. Do we just have comment? Is that like... Does that come? Does that work? No, what am I doing wrong? Hang on. Again, this is a small thing, like, I could just tell him write a comment, or I could just do it myself for this kind of a PR. So if we create a label, we get the title, system symbol, system image. Ooh, what's system image versus system symbol? Creates a label with a system icon, title generated from a localized string, yeah. Creates a label system symbol image, and a title generated from a local. That's the same thing. These look the same to you too? Both of these initializers, even though they have different parameter names, these look the same to me. Oh, one's optional. Why did they change that? What's a SF? Hang on, what's the... Label. Yeah, label, icon. Why did it not go directly to that one? That's weird. Confusing. Okay, but we are doing label. Yeah, look at this. I don't know what it is. Code completion like absolutely breaks when you add your own code completion things. All of these are from a presentation that I did. But like the main label one is not coming up.
Oh.
It's like all the label initialization that we were just looking at. Yeah, there we go. Now it comes up before you type the parenthesis, and then once you type it, the rest of it like goes away. That like doesn't make sense. Okay, label. Title key. Title and icon, yeah. System image. It's still localized string key. Okay, we'll just do that. Do we also get comment? Oh, is that only, that's only in S localized string key is adding the comment. That doesn't seem right to me. Okay, that's fine. I don't want to mess with it then. We'll keep what you have, because it's, I wanted to add a comment to this, so when you have the word share, you can be like, oh, this is sharing an export of a file. So it gives more context for the, where'd the localizable file go? It would give more, it would add the comment here. So I guess we have to type the comment manually over there. That's weird, but okay.
Yeah.
So what would we say? Share the exported file in the share sheet. Does that sound good? I think that's fine. Okay, we typed that there. Oh, I made dismiss. So it's typed there. So then when we do like git status, we see I changed that file and then the backspace or something that I did on the dashboard. Okay, so that's fine. So we can check that we have viewed this file. So we have 3 more left, which are all the bigger ones. We have the dashboard view, export options view, and then the car maintenance PDF generator. So that one's the big one, I know. It has most lines too. So let's do 24, the dashboard view. So the dashboard view probably has adding the button for all the stuff. So we added state property for are we showing the export view options. That's cool. And this is good too, what you did. That in the codebase is this variable follows the naming conventions of the other variables, which is good. Because if you said like is, which I kind of like too, and I might change, but if you said is presenting export options view, it technically doesn't match all the other ones. So then it's like, oh, why does this one say is showing or is presenting? Is there a difference? There's not, but it's good to also follow the conventions of the codebase. So that is beautiful. Okay, then the toolbar. So that's adding the toolbar button. Come here, little. Okay, I gotta move you. That's adding this, and I know it is, so... Oops, dismiss. There we go. It's adding that button. So where was that? Toolbar, line 153. There we go. Toolbar. It's that whole thing. If the view model is not empty, so that means it will not show there if there's nothing there. I'm fine with that. Toolbar item, and then we have the button. So the button is showing true, so then we're showing an alert that's probably below. Yeah, that's the last thing, it's the sheet. We have our share image, and then accessibility shows large content viewer. Love it. So then, I forget, do you remember how you activate that? The accessibility shows large content viewer? Do you know how that's activated? Do you have to long press it, or do I have to bump the font up to actually? Do you remember how that's presented?
No.
Is it voice? Josh, you may know this. Is it voiceover? If I were to use the accessibility shows large content viewer, that's the thing that pops up and it's like really big in the middle of the screen. If you can't see what the icon is or something, then that comes up so you could maybe see it better. But I forget how you actually trigger. I've done it before. It's not a long press. Is it? I forget how you do it. But that is nice to have. Even though both of us can't remember how it works. That's totally fine. But that's useful anyways. Ooh, actually, well, does the comment tell us? Adds a custom large content view to be shown. Large content viewer. Rely on the large content viewer on the situation where items must remain small due to unavoidable design constraints. For example, buttons in the tab bar remain small. Yeah. Does this say? It does not tell us, even in this comment, how we use it. Let's see. Let's Google it really quick. Show large content viewer Swift UI. Oh, look at this. I've Googled this before. Natalia shares great blog posts. Okay. I'm not sure how to do it in the simulator, but I do know how it is in the accessibility settings on a physical device, so it might be in the same place on the simulator. Okay, cool. Ooh, Swift UI. User can swipe on the bar to get the item. When they let go, the button is considered tapped. Oh, cool. Let's see, does it say how to do it, or am I not reading? Oh, we might have a custom control that is activated by a long press gesture, but should also show this. In order to long press, okay, long press the button. So that's what it is. I think we also have to bump the font because it's an accessibility thing. So I think we have to turn on accessibility type to make everything really big. Okay, simulator's big. If we long press, no? Make it even bigger? Here we go. So this is what the code looks like when it's gigantic. Yeah, there we go. export event. Look at that. It's beautiful.
Um,
So we have to be in the accessibility settings, in the like accessibility dynamic type settings, and then you long press. That's it. Cool. So we're gonna turn that off because it's very, very gigantic. And so that works. Beautiful. Love it. I appreciate that you did the extra add then that. And then we have the sheet for is showing options view that's below. Where'd it go? Here. And we are showing export options view. The data source is that specific variable. Love it. Fraction detents 35, corner radius 10. I'm gonna get rid of the corner radius because we don't need to have it. And does it give it one by default? I can't remember. But then also, instead of making this 0.35, we can do medium. So that will by default do whatever is the default for the phone, which is close to the same thing.
yeah, I had it medium before, but when you run it and you have less vehicles, I believe that that look wasn't that great. So
Okay.
we can
Yeah,
see.
let's see. So that's what I just said too, is also my first thoughts as well, as opposed to like hard coding 35, because it's kind of like, wait, why is it 35? Because it's a magic number. I think this is fine. Fine enough for now. Because, yeah, see, it automatically also has a corner radius on it, too. You could just kind of barely
Yeah.
see it. Because something I know I kind of see. Let's see, let's make the font big again. Also, Just Marv said nice about implementing the accessibility. Love it. Ooh, let's make it bigger. Because, yeah. So if the font's gigantic, this gets cut off. And that's because export options view should also be a scroll view as well, eventually. So it's not right now. So somebody else note that for me to add. But we could, like, it looks totally fine at regular font sizes and stuff, but let's eventually make this a scroll view because then we can have all the, it'll work with the fonts get big. Josh said A11Y, let's go. Which, if anyone didn't know that, yeah, A11Y is like a shorthand for writing the word accessibility because accessibility has 11 characters in it, and then A and then Y are the end. If anyone didn't know. Yeah, like localization is L18N because the word localization has 18 characters and then it starts and ends with LN. So also Lickability wrote, let's do blog. They wrote a, let me just Google it, scroll view. They wrote a blog post that says every screen in your app should be a scroll view. So this is the company I used to work for. I no longer work with them. They're great though. Highly recommend. And yeah, it basically just goes through every screen should be a scroll view because of accessibility. And once you make font gigantic, you always need it to scroll. So it's a fun little blog post to peruse at your leisure. So that's all good. Let's just check this because that all looks good. So we only have 2 files left to view and those are the big ones. And we have like 10-ish minutes. So here we go. Let's look at the big ones. So we have the export options view because that's a new one. And then the car maintenance PDF generator. Let's see, where do we also put this file? So close those 2. Export options view is in the dashboard. I'm fine with this for now because it comes out of the dashboard. Like that's how we navigate to it. I was almost thinking it could go somewhere else because maybe we'll put an export for the vehicles or something like that and we could use the same view, but we don't have that yet, so it's fine. And then the car generator, this is just a class. This could probably end up going in the view model, or technically we could just put this file like at the top or something, just be like, because it's not technically, it's a view, it's not technically a view model, you know, it's just a class that does things.
Right.
So we could move it. I might move it. Let's just do it because I already talked about it. Let's just move it out, put it in dashboard. So now it's technically outside and it looks like I'm using the new, what's it called, files folders thing. So then that means that this, if we do get status again, it shows that we moved the file, but that does not change the PBX project file. So that means we won't have merge conflicts, which is super nice because all the files are now in alphabetical order. And then so they do the folders first and then the files. which is super great. But I changed, that was like the first thing I changed once Xcode 16 came out. I like immediately changed it in this project. And then also, I don't know if this is a bug or not, but you can barely see the Swift logo is slightly lighter here than it is when, like, this one's darker. And it's because we renamed the file, so Xcode like lost the reference for where it's at, kinda. So when you close it and then open it again, now it's like a regular tinted one. It just like loses the reference when you rename files. That like happens. But total Xcode thing. Okay. This has been... See, Omar, I told you this would probably end up taking an hour just because I talk a lot. So, yeah, let's go... Which one's smaller? Let's go through... PDF generator is 186. Export options view is 79. Let's do the export options view first. Okay, so we look at it. We have our private variables. That's all fine. Private let. So we could do it like this. We could also just make this not private, and then we don't have to initialize that. But you're also... Okay, you're passing it into here, so that's why you did it like that. That's fine. Navigation view, so... Ooh, let's note that so we can... This could be a scroll view to be able to accommodate. I still spelled accommodate wrong? How do you spell this word? Accommodate? I don't know how to spell it. Accommodate dynamic. Oh gosh, spelled that one wrong too now. Type sizes. How do you spell accommodate? Is it a date? No. Do you know how to spell this word? Because I don't, clearly. Oh my gosh, hang on. Okay, I just looked it up. A-C-C-O-M...
Double M?
Oh.
Yeah.
Learn something new. Accommodate. Dynamic type sizes. Cool. Add this review comment. Hey Danny, how's it going? We're reviewing a PR. We're almost through because we might go over by like 10 minutes, but I do have to go because I'm going on a road trip today. I'm going to go see a comedian, and she is very far away from where I live, so I have to like drive 1,000,000 hours to go see her. Which I'll do, but it just takes my entire day. Spell check is not being very accommodating right now. No, it is not. Love it. Okay. So we have this. That's cool. See, and I think this is totally fine because it's also self-explanatory what that means. So then we don't even need to be like, add a comment because it kind of says it all right there too. So I'm cool with that. This one's fine. Plus I think select vehicles named like everywhere. Okay, so this goes through each vehicle of that dictionary and then the key because the key is the vehicle. That's cool. Tag, then tag vehicle. Love it. And we can do this because, yeah, it's hashable. Picker inline, that's cool. Actually, picker inline. What is inline? I thought this was the picker wheel. Inline with other... Hang on, if we change that to wheel and then we run it. Why does picker inline look like picker wheel?
I remember it gave me the same result. Maybe I'm mistaken.
That's weird. I'm gonna just do wheel because it looks like the wheel anyways. Yeah, that's weird. I don't know. And then, yeah, you can immediately see the issues of this not being a scroll view is where, like, you scroll up, this, like, bounces all weird, too. And then it's weird. So then, yeah, this, because I was thinking also this could be a navigation title, too. So then when we make it into a scroll view, it'll automatically like get smaller and bigger and it'll look fine. But if it was a title, this would get cut off, so it's fine. But we should make this a scroll view eventually. Anthony, how's it going? Welcome. Thanks for dropping by. How have you been? Haven't chatted in a hot minute. I also haven't been on socials for a while. Okay, padding horizontal, great. So then the words are not like right up against this. Toolbar, export button. If let selected vehicles, so that's what we selected out of the picker view. Events, so those are all the events. And then we use our PDF generator here Okay, yeah, nothing's cut off. We use the PDF generator. We give it the name, give it all the events, generate, and then is showing share sheet is true. Wait, is showing share sheet is true.
Used right after.
Oh, okay, so this is rendering the document then. Gotcha. Okay, so that's
Yes.
why. Okay, so then that's what is confusing. I was thinking is showing share sheet would show this one, because this is the share sheet when I think of it, versus this one would be like is showing rendering view. Because, yeah, it's showing then the thumbnail, and then that's the actual thing. So I'm going to rename that, because that was then confusing. Oh my goodness. And the code. Oh, that's cool. You can click on, like, the whole thing. Yeah, I kind of don't like that. Like, I get why it's there, but it also looks weird when the whole thing is a sheet. So let's rename this variable. Also, where did the icon go? We just added that icon. Where's it gone? Oh, did I change that back? You saw me type this as system image, right? Like, we fixed that.
Yes.
What happened?
Yeah.
Weird. Okay. That is back, so that image will be there. And then let's rename is showing share sheet is really is showing render view? Yeah.
Oh, that's
Or thumbnail. We could call it thumbnail, because that's also the name of that right here. So let's call it thumbnail. Is showing thumbnail. But I'm fine with basically showing the share sheet directly, because people kind of don't care what it looks like until they like end up viewing it, or if they want to like export it directly. Because the other thing is, if we were to do it this way, I would want, yeah, export, and then I would want it the whole view, because it's a document and it'll get bigger eventually as well. Plus, I don't know what would happen with this once it's multiple pages too.
It gets the first page only, as you can see, on line 60.
60. Ah, cool. Love it.
Yeah.
See, and this is the benefit of doing a peer review with the person who wrote it. So then when I ask a question, he knows it immediately. Anthony, been pretty good. Haven't been traveling due to paying off debt. I'll be traveling again next year. I feel that. I was just traveling, and I need my bank account to recover before I go anywhere else. But I love it. Where are you planning on going next year? Let me know. Oh yeah, see, then you use D10's medium here, so that I think all looks good. We renamed some variables, so let's say that renamed to is showing thumbnail. It's not technically showing the share sheet yet. And then I always put everything with the backticks, so then when it's like actually shown, you can like quickly point out like what's something that's like code and what's not. So that's also super nice. Okay, so that's fine. Oh gosh, it's already 10. Okay, we're gonna review the last one really fast. This is all fine. Don't really care. Save here, padding bottom. Oh yeah, so you have padding along the bottom. I see. And then medium D10s. That's all fine. Cool. Check this off, and then now we just have 186 lines of a class. So we had to get a Swiftlet air function body length should be 50 lines or less, and yours is just barely over the limit at 55. That's okay. We'll leave it there for right now. I wonder if this is something you could unit test, because it's just a class and it renders something. I wonder if it's possible to unit test it. That'd be interesting to find out later. We're good. Asif, you just found out about my stream today. Do you stream regularly? I'm new to Hacktoberfest and curious about how you determine the requirements. No rush on replying. Yeah. Thank you for finding me. Like the video. Everyone go like the video if you haven't yet. Yeah, do Hacktoberfest. I did it. I've done it since 2020. Ooh, here. Let me see so I can see myself. This is my Hacktoberfest t-shirt. They don't do t-shirts anymore. The first year I participated was the last year they did t-shirts, so it's great that I got in on that, but they used to give out t-shirts when you got your 4 PRs merged for Hacktoberfest, but because people would just spam a lot of repos and just to merge their PRs, they kind of stopped doing that, and now you get like little digital badges. Ooh, let me see if I could show mine. Which, you know, it's really funny. I don't know if this is a bug or not. Maybe Hacktoberfest will say, I get credit for merging my own PRs into my own repo. I feel like it shouldn't work like that. But these are your little badges that you get for Hacktoberfest. So, you know, they're not like a t-shirt, but you gotta say you did it. And then I could put this like on my GitHub or something like that by copying this image. But it's fun. I would still recommend it. Hacktoberfest is great. You get the experience, really. So yeah, I have 2 of 4 because I've merged PRs into my own repo. So I think that's really funny, but I feel like that shouldn't be allowed. Don't tell anyone though. Okay, where's the PR? Here we go. Hey Dragon Dust, how's it going? Thanks for dropping by. Anthony, not sure you want to go to conferences, including Deep Dish. Yes. Hope to see you there. I will be there. I need to go buy my tickets still, but I will be there as well. Because Deep Dish Swift is the conference that's in Chicago. It's literally deepdishswift.com. That is the one conference that's like closest to where I actually live. So that's the one I kind of always go to as well. Plus I like Josh and everything. Okay, so let's see. Top margins. We talked earlier because Omar and I talked about this briefly. But these are all margins. We're like, okay, do these margins change when the page size changes? Which is like maybe, but we'll leave them here for right now. But this could also be something we put in that page dimensions enum, just in case. Column width, then grabbing the documents directory. That's all fine. Does this ever return? Does first return optional? It does. Okay, so documents directory, that's optional. Yeah. That's all fine. Column width is just... Can that be? Do you ever use column width? Where do we use this generate? This could be a computed variable. Because you don't use it in the initializer, it could just be computed, right?
Yeah, but I felt like it needs to be instantiated only once instead of accessing it and computing it multiple times. So, but
that's true.
either.
That's a good point.
Yep.
I like it computed because then you can see it at the point of when it's created what it is.
Right.
Plus, even if it's not changed, that's fine though. I don't care dramatically, and I also there's an extra space, backspace. But then it's I don't care right now. Okay, so we have generate PDF. That's a big function. What else do we have? Draw header. That's a function. Begin new page. Draw columns headers. Okay. So let's go through the bottom to the top. So these are private, cool, because we only use them here. This gives us state vehicle name notes. And then if we look at the actual rendered file. Good, nice to see you stream again. Oh, yes, for everyone who is also still here, thank you. I will be streaming again Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Let me check my schedule. Because, yeah, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. This stream is part of a whole series I'm doing for Hacktoberfest, and this stream is sponsored by Tuple, the pair programming software Omar and I are using right now, and we agreed on a certain amount of videos, and I was going to do them all for Hacktoberfest, and then Hacktoberfest is almost over, so I'm doing them all next week, Monday through Wednesday, debating on times, and if anybody wants to be the person who's basically being Omar right now, where you're watching me like roast your PR right in person, you can DM me and I will connect and we can do this call whenever you're free. So then anybody who has a PR open right now or go find an issue and then make a new PR, we can do that starting next week. We can chat, get on this call, and I can review your PR live on my YouTube channel if you would like. You don't have to have your face shown if you don't want. Omar said he's cool with it, so we'll do that. But anybody is welcome to come on the stream and I can review your PR because it's super fun. And then Omar gets to see also like how I code. He kind of knows pretty well because he's done several PRs on this repo. So I feel like you kind of know what to expect. But it's not bad. I'm nice. I promise. You've seen. I'm nice. Then let's see. Subtitles. What do we have? Subtitles is... Oh, these are all attributes. So these are how we make the font size and everything. These are fine because we're rendering a PDF, so we can use hard-coded numbers because these don't change. PDF doesn't have dynamic type, sadly. Okay, date column, draw, and then we're drawing everything based on the attributed text, notes. Oh, so these are these. So we have the header column. Yeah, draw a header. Oh, date headem color. Okay. Then we're drawing things. Draw. That's all fine. So these are drawing column headers. Are these ones just date, vehicle name, and notes? Is that what all those are?
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, that's fine. Draw headem colors. Begin new page. Okay, so that's if we ever need to go to a new page, that would happen. Makes sense. I would have to add a bunch of things for us to do that. I'll maybe do that later, but I think it looks all fine. Then we have the draw header. There's draw header. Title, subtitle. Title that. Okay. Formatting the date, that's all fine. From date to date, good, because that's what I wanted right here. And then because we are formatting it specifically, hopefully that should flip the numbers too if you were to do this in Europe. Where everybody flips the date. Or we flip it. But that, okay, we get the sizes of everything. Title X. What does this do? Just says where we're starting the draw?
Yes.
Okay. Oh yeah, because these are all in the middle. Duh. So it's in the middle of the width. Got it. Vehicle name, event. Yeah, that's all good. Then draw, column, headers. What does that go? So this, we could probably put this after we call the other functions. So then they are... Oh, I see. So then when you have the first page, okay, we do that. I see. That's fine. Because I'm thinking of it where this is on the first page, and then when you make the second page, we just have those headers, and then the data. I was looking at, let's just collapse this because I've already looked at it. Begin new page, yep, we do that. Ooh, does this get the line length thing if it's too long? Because there's 3.
I guess I got a warning.
I'm guessing it does if you did it. Let's see if we build this. Yeah, we get the Swiftlet warning. So Control M. Look at that. Now we're back. New shortcut. It's great. Draw column headers. Okay, yeah, that's what I was thinking. Was this header is called this like after the other function's called, but because this is the initial one, that's fine. Put 3 comments, so then when you hold Option, click on it, that comes up there.
Yes.
You could also make it for the others, but it doesn't really matter because you can figure it out, I would say. Like even there's a lot of code in the others, you can still figure out what they do. So I think that's all fine. So let's collapse that one. We have the last one, generate PDF, which is 5 lines too long, which is fine. We can fix it later if we wanted to make it shorter. Okay, make sure events is up, not empty. Good. Rendering a graphic. Y position. Ooh, that's a closure. Interesting. But then we have do. This is probably grabbing the file component. Yep. We have vehicle name, hyphen, maintenance report, dot PDF. Else return nil. I'm going to put a line break here because this is a lot of code to read all at once. Then if files, absolute file path, remove item. Oh, if it exists. Okay. So then if I would almost change this because if somebody exported it before adding something, they may want to still have that older one in there. So instead of doing this, let me put a note. Let me write that down actually. Like that is something I want to make an issue out of, which would be car maintenance PDF. Okay, I will go in like 5 minutes because I like literally have to go like road trip it. Like I'm about to go drive like 5 hours, which is good old American road trip. It's not even that far. Like I'll drive 5 hours like in a day, and then tomorrow I'm gonna drive like 5 hours back. But I know to people in Europe, they're like, "Oh my God, you're about to drive 5 hours." happens. And you know what's funny? I'm only going one state over. I'm not even gonna get that far. Car maintenance PDF generator. Side note. I want to don't overwrite the file if it already exists by line 87. Add something so that always generate a new one. Okay, I'm gonna put this as a note to myself to make a new issue out of this. What I will probably do is have somebody, whoever ends up completing it, I think I'm gonna just add like a date time onto this. So it'll be like this and then hyphen date time. So then it'll always make a unique file in case, you know, you say, oh, I want to export all of this before, you know, I log a crash or whatever. And so then when somebody logs, oh, they crashed their vehicle or wanted to put something else, that's not in the PDF export if they wanted to do it like that. So I think that's totally fine how you wrote it right now, but we'll change it. Then PDF save to. I try to not have tons of print statements everywhere, but I'm fine with this because it's something that's ongoing at the moment. Print PDF. And then I do like how you did car maintenance PDF generator. I feel like we'll make this into a protocol of something of like car maintenance, like export generator or something. So then when somebody does PDF and somebody later does CSV,
Yep.
maybe we could have some shared code in here, which might just be really the models or something. We'll find out. Somebody hasn't gotten to that one yet. So if you want to do it, you can do it right after this. Because yeah, it's the, if we go back here, when you click export, right now this doesn't export and it's only a PDF, which maybe we should say it right now. It does only PDF, but eventually this will also have like choose your car, choose a date range, and choose the export type. So it'll say export as PDF or export as CSV. So then when you tap this export, it would immediately go to the share sheet like this, and then you would see if it's a PDF or a CSV. But we have to set the groundwork first. So this is still a great base. Love it. Okay, generate. What does generate to? Begin new page. Yeah. Table. Iterating through the table. Great. Event, vehicle name, drawing all these as specific positions. Notes. Cool. And then this only runs once. Is it a closure? Is there it's like a wait version? It almost doesn't even matter, actually. I wonder. Or I looked at this to see if it was an async await, but because that's a closure. Because most closures have been replaced by async await, but I don't think this one has because it's also very low level because it's drawing on the screen. Wait, Control M is a default shortcut? Yes, it is. It's great. Let's see if we can actually hang on. This one we could also, does that go on one line? Build, does that, I don't think that triggers. What is, I think the line limit is like 110 is what I have it set in Swiftlet. Ooh, yeah, okay, that one doesn't trigger, so let's make this one like that. Because it kind of depends. Some I'm like, oh, it's fine, but if it's small enough, I'll put it all on one line still. Oh, this one triggers, okay. Yeah, Control M. Beautiful. Does that, ooh, it did it to the draw.
Yeah, because it need an extra space after the...
There we go. I just hit enter and then did Control M and it automatically did it. That was pretty. Also, okay, total side note really quick. If anyone hasn't found this, the coolest freaking thing of Xcode 16, if I were to do... Okay, let's copy this whole generate PDF. Watch this. If I do copy and then just go into a folder and hit paste, Command V, it makes a new file immediately with that code there. That's so cool.
Yep.
Anyone didn't know that. It's awesome. Move to trash. Okay, we're not using that. So if you like literally copy something, like if you made a struct or something at the bottom here and did like struct Mikaela, if I could spell my own name right, let name equal. Watch, if I do, oops, string, if I copy this, and it does even cool with structs, and if I go to click on the folder, hit Command V, it automatically makes a file named Mikaela and then puts the struct there. That's so cool. How do I delete it? Delete. Okay. Sidebar. This would be cool. Vision Pro app. Walk around your vehicle and view all your maintenance. Ooh, that would be super cool, Ryan. Yeah. So Omar, I just kind of read this. It would be super cool to make a Vision Pro app. Walk around your vehicle to view all your maintenance needs and history. Oh my god. I love that. We're throwing that in the idea bank. We're gonna make a GitHub discussion about this, of making a Vision Pro app, because you could totally use the thing to render. What was it called? Where you walk around your vehicle and you can render a 3D model of something that you walk around. We could do that. You could take that, put it into the app, and then have it in the Vision Pro and then view it at like life size. Love it. Love the unhinged ideas. I am copying your message so I could write this down for later. Oh, can I copy? Yes, copy. Oh my gosh, it does not copy properly into the notes thing. Okay. Vision Pro, walk around vehicle to view all maintenance needs and history. Generate vehicle 3D model. I love that unhinged idea. We're gonna put that in the idea bank and make a GitHub discussion about it. Like, I love it. We'll do it sometime. Okay, other than that, this PR though, everything I think looks good. What did we say here? Yeah, we were talking about the margin, so I'm gonna resolve that because it's fine. The one Swift error, I think we fixed this, right? It was line 33. Yeah, we don't have the error, so I think that's fine. Everything else, yeah, that all looks good. Hit check. Okay, cool. Everything has been reviewed. Let's go back to GitHub. I will comment approved and be like, great work. Joining my stream for this review. And then, because we did this live here, let me just copy and paste. Whoops, wrong button. Oh gosh, I almost clicked the end stream button. Let's copy and paste just the URL, because somebody could see that we reviewed this live. Viewed live on my YouTube channel. Because I would love to make a stream sometime of like what I actually expect in a PR review. And like things that people mess up all the time here and there. So that like, yay, confetti. Love it. And then let's fix all the things I fixed. I also use Git Kraken as my code editor. These are all line breaks, comments, line break. Rename. Okay, so where'd the button go? Stage all changes. PR suggestions. Commit that. And when you check the box, when you create the PR, it says like maintainer can make edits or something. Make sure you always check that, because that lets me do something like this, where we just committed that. I can push the changes directly. So I added all these comments. They immediately say outdated because I've changed things. And then blah, blah, blah. There's all my comments. And then there's my last PR that we just did for PR suggestions. And then it allows me to push all the changes immediately, and we don't have to, I don't have to like then go back to Omar and be like, hey, can you change all these things? Like everything that I noted, there's like four things here, but you can see if you look at the PR, I already commented like 10 other things. Because that was more, I was like, hey, Omar, can you go and fix all these things? And then these ones, because they're all very, very minimal, I'll just do them and push it. So then I don't have to bug Omar to do it when I'm like, okay, I can just fix it, merge it immediately. So here we go, squash and merge. Because I squash all the commits, so then you'll see here the commit history looks better. Squash and merge. There we go, it's merge. One of two checks pass. All of my CI is failing right now, so just don't look at it. Okay, I'm gonna close the project because sometimes it freaks out when I switch branches. So we are in Omar's branch. Let's go check out dev again and then do git pull. And I could do pull from like Git Kraken. I just always use command line for basic things, and then I'll use like Git Kraken to like view things. To view like code changes like what we did. Okay, so his is merge, and when you write closes and then hashtag number, that automatically closes the issue as well. So you can see the pop-up has refreshed. This one hasn't, so if I refresh the page, that now says closed. And that automatically closes the issue, which is beautiful. am going to stop these actions from running because they fail right now, because I fixed them and then I broke them again, as always. I know what the issue is though on those. So we have reviewed this one PR. So we're on dev. Okay, let's run it. We should see then his changes immediately here. And then see, this is what it looks like when it's on dev. Let me also delete his branch on my local machine. -3 342. Okay, so we have dev, Firestore, and then main. And then the Firestore rules is something I'm working on. But now, when I squash all the commits every time, instead of having like his 10 commits or whatever that he had, we just have one for that. And then the commit history looks kind of better. A lot of it, is me committing things randomly between all the other people, but it looks nicer. And it's easier to find with specific issues, because I do also try to write the issues so that like they're really tiny. So in the end, you don't have a lot of lines that you commit. So it's easier to review as well. So there we go. That was it. That was how I reviewed a PR. That will kind of be the end, because I have to go because I'm going to like road trip it. So that's going to be the end of this stream. I will again be streaming Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday next week. Have not put it into my YouTube yet. I will figure that out tomorrow or so-ish, whatever times I feel I'm going to stream. It'll probably be similar to right now, because I try to stream in the mornings Eastern time, because I catch everybody in Europe when I do that, because it's like afternoon, all of your guys' time. And then this was a new thing I added to the GitHub repo, is this lovely pretty graph of how many opened, closed issues are there, how many pull requests are there, commits, all the things. It's a nice little pretty graph that looks great during Hacktoberfest, and it'll look sad any other time outside of that, because I don't commit as much. But here, I'll drop the link to this repo as well if anybody wants to contribute to this. Daniel, yes, Ishvank, welcome. Sorry, I have to end the stream. So sad. You can rewatch the replay, but I will be back again next week, Monday to Wednesday. All very enlightening, Josh. Never done pull request before, so it's interesting to listen on. Great. Yeah, please. If you were like, Josh, pull down the repo, make a new PR. I have several issues open. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I can make more. Now that we've merged Omar's PR too, I know like 10 issues I could make out of this. So that will be what is coming next, as well as I'll make new issues. But again, thank you to everybody for coming. Thank you, Omar, for being on my stream and watching me review your PR live, because you've seen me review many PRs, because we've gone back and forth on this repo a couple times and he's contributed before. So you've seen me do this multiple times, and like now you kind of see also my thought process when I review PRs. So when you do another one, you can now know like, oh, Mikaela's going to comment on this. But it's also helpful for you, because you can then, when you make a PR, if you can then like review the PR yourself, like open it and then go through it yourself and review it as if you were reviewing your own PR, and that can help as well, figuring out like what then the maintainer is going to comment on everything. Yeah. But that will be the end. Again, thank you to Omar. Everyone say bye to him, and then I'm going to change this to my face cam, so you're going to go away. Okay, Omar, oh no, did it go? Where'd it go? Okay, yeah. Omar, so nobody can hear you now, just by the way. I can hear you, though. But everyone, thanks again for coming. I appreciate it. I will, again, be on next week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Be sure to like the video, and I will be back. I will post all those times when I get around to it, which will be, like, Saturday or so. But I will see everybody later. Bye. Okay, let's see.